Here he is, Mr. Van Buren.
Thanks, Kevin.
No problem. Just let me know when you're done.
Will do. So, what do you think, Doctor?
Well, the large hole in the top of his head certainly would appear to be the cause of death.
Yes, it does appear that way, but why did he kill himself?
Who knows? People do it all the time. Maybe it was stress.
Perhaps.
Now, wait a minute. What's this here?
What?
Well, see these bruises behind his ears?
Sure.
I don't think the gunshot was the cause of his death.
Because he has bruises? I admit my medical knowledge may not be complete, but I don't follow.
Bruising behind the ears could be an indication of blunt force trauma to the temple.
So you're saying someone hit him in the head and then shot him?
Sure, why not?
It'd be the perfect way to conceal the crime. Dr. Watson, you may have just solved this case. I need to contact the police immediately. Thank you for your help.
Good afternoon, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, hello again, Doctor.
I see you got the door fixed. I assume you'll be sending over the bill?
No, your assistance with Mr. Van Buren's untimely departure was more than adequate repayment.
Oh, well, okay.
So, what brings you here today?
I believe I left my baseball here last week.
Yes, you did. It's around here somewhere. Ah, right over here.
Thank you. So, what came of Mr. Van Buren's case?
Well, I encouraged the police to search Mrs. Van Buren's car, and they found an old bowling trophy with her husband's blood on it. Apparently she'd had an argument with him, and in a fit of rage she picked up the weapon from his desk and bashed him in the side of the head with it. In her panic to cover up the crime, she managed to find his gun in a drawer and staged the suicide. And if it weren't for you, she probably would have gotten away with it, too.
Yes, well, it was nothing. I was happy to help.
Perhaps I will need your assistance again in the future.
Well, don't hesitate to call if you ever need anything. Here's my card.
Sounds good. Would you care to join me on the patio for a cigar?
Sure, I'd love to. I have some questions about your grandfather. I'd like to know if he was at all like Grandpa John described him.
So, I take it Holmes called you for some help on another case.
Yes, it wasn't long before I was routinely stopping in to see if he needed help. I never realized how interesting detective work could be. Although I've always suspected that Holmes knew about that bruising behind the ears and was just testing my skills of observation.
Well, I'm sure your grandfathers will be proud of the two of you working together.
Indeed they would.
So, I guess we had two cases this week, didn't we?
Yes, I suppose we did. Mr. Van Buren's fake suicide and my fake Babe Ruth autograph.
And what story are you going to be telling us about next week, Doctor?
Well, next week's story still brings up bad memories, so I will be handing over the storytelling duties to a special guest.
Any hints as to who this guest may be?
Well, let's just say he's rather eccentric.
That should be interesting. I can't wait. And until then, don't forget to check out Battlezone Games, just off Interstate 380 in Hiawatha, and online at battlezonegames.com for all your board game and hobby game needs. And remember to use the coupon code Watson when ordering online to receive a 10% discount off your order. Tonight's Watson Files adventure was written by Scott Strosahl. Spencer Holmes and Dr. Watson were played by Michael Helgens and Greg Kilberger. Additional voices were performed by Steve Rimpici. For Battlezone Games, this is Craig Dahlen saying good night from Strobe Studios.